The following is for entertainment purposes only. We are not financial advisors. We are not responsible for any losses, only the profits.
I mean, let's be real. It really doesn't matter what I think, or it doesn't matter what you think, how you feeling, how I'm feeling in my gut. It doesn't matter. It's timing, dude. Charts. That's what matters. Money flow, the flow of it all. I try to simplify it all, but listen. This time every year, about the third week of this month, kind of in October, beginning October, there's most of the time, almost every single year, there's about a 10% drop in futures in the big fangy stuff. So do you think that it'd be smart to prepare for that? I do. Do I hate like the doom and gloom and the world's crashing? I hate thinking about this. I hate looking at that stuff, dude. I hate watching the news. I can't stand it. It drives me nuts. But I still have to do this. We have to go over this. This is real deal Hollywood stuff. This is to protect our money, our families, our futures. Let's jump into what we have. I'll make it make a little bit more sense. I'm calling this one the Great Rotation. Could it equal the Great Crash? Maybe more pumps? What's going on? First of all, this is a trip. Remember Citadel? Y'all like Citadel? I'll let you decide if you do not.
Without that, they're probably the IT guys for Citadel. Again, I used to work at pretty much down the block from this shit at construction development outsourcing, CDO group.
What do they have to do with the markets?
As their network.
Here's some comments that kind of stood out to me. Maybe Citadel is moving into the Robinhood offices to make things official. Think that's a possibility? The crazy guy was like, dude, this kind of reminds me of Enron, the Tower 3, Wolf of Wall Street, Boiler Room, the Lehman Brothers all come to mind. Okay, that's kind of cool. Reminds me when the U.S. talked most people into giving up their physical gold for newly formed fiat Fed bucks. What? Did that actually happen? I think that's actually true. Another person said, so is this where I just keep holding my GME stocks? If you don't know what's going on, it's okay, because none of us do either. Citadel, one of the biggest hedge funds, has been in trouble, headlining news. What am I saying here? Be watchful. For some reason, they're moving out of a huge building out of Chicago. This could be a lead up to a big FUD event. Maybe Citadel is in trouble and no one knows it. It's not public yet. Well, why are they doing that? They haven't announced anything. Not only that, we have a lot of China suds going on. Most of it's FUDs. Why? One of the biggest, let's call it, market-making bank loan holder for where people live and all that. They own tons of apartments, housing millions and millions of people across Asia. Evergrande. Credit event. Unavoidable, could spill over until the global markets, depending on whether the company restructures its debt or liquidates. God, you love that. Liquidates, I love that word. Liquidation would be the more severe scenario. What's going on? One of the biggest banksters is losing their shirt. Long story short. What are they doing? Gonna blame it on the little guy, like they always do. Something like this. They're giving workers a choice. People that have worked for them. They're saying, loan us some cash or you're going to lose your bonus. Yes. The bankster says, hey, you work for us? If you still want your Christmas bonus, loan me some cash right now, bro. I'll get you back. You can trust me, bro. Did you know there's China police like standing outside of these dudes' location because people are so pissed at many reasons? Maybe something like this. Why does this matter? This is a massive company. This is the type of company, like, realize China owns, I think, 47% of all China-owned businesses. The government actually owns, nationalizes them. Okay, this is some freaky stuff. Guess what? They own tons of stuff in America now. Did you know that? Lots of stuff all over. Any big city. Las Vegas. Most of Las Vegas is owned by who? Asia. China. Lots of big U.S. companies. U.S. Let's talk automakers, you know, a lot of those are actually getting bought up by who? China. Old school American companies are getting bought by China through companies like this. If this goes under, this will affect down the line and trickle into our backyard. They owe $300 billion. That's just what we know right now that they're on the hook for, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Let's talk about September barf on big stocks. What am I talking about? Big cap, FANG, the big boys, the ones that are like totally running the whole ball game. Let's take a look at Apple, right? One of the leaning tower of Pisas. This thing is just rocketing, you know. It's looking like it's slowing down a little bit. Where's the next support on this? I don't even know. I guess you could call it like 133. Where would that dump us to? If Apple goes down, that'd be time high down to 133. Be about a 14% correction. I'd say that's totally doable and could happen. When is all this going to happen? When are we going to actually get the October dump, the end of September dump? I don't know. It could be end of next week. We should prepare like it's happening tomorrow, though. You know, if you got some sketchy stocks that have a lot of room to go down, you might want to sell those. And then you're instantly thinking, yeah, but FOMO, I don't want to miss out on some plays. Well, guess what? You're right. In fact, everyone's been thinking the same thing. What do I mean? SPACs are getting cool. People are leaving big cap stocks, jumping into SPACs. Why? Because SPACs are protected. This is what happens. We have massive sector rotation. Not only that, when you see SPACs and OTC, you see these OTCs on the right here? When these start ripping, big tech going down, OTC ripping, SPACs ripping, then you have all futures kind of being unsure, unsure. And then you look at stuff like the VIX. This is the volatility index. When people are actually scared, this is what goes up first. You can use this as the crystal ball. I use it as a crystal ball all the time. I just don't know to tell y'all. One freaky thing is usually on Friday, this thing dumps, which just means on Monday, usually stuff's gonna be going up. It has to do with some call option stuff, yada, yada, but guess what? Technically, the market makers should have dumped the futures end of last week because, get this, first time in a long time, it was about 65% of people that had options on futures last week. Guess what? They were betting futures were going down. That is a rotation. If 65% of retail are betting that futures are going down, that means we're in a rotation. That means the bros are macro thinking, all right, we're topping out, we're going down. That's a big deal. So what else is happening? The VIX usually ends Fridays down, Friday down, Friday down. See these yellow lines? Gap filled here. The last 2 Fridays, so last Friday, the one before, guess what? Friday up. Remember the VIX, if the VIX goes up, that means the futures, everything else should be going down, right? Too late to get in VIX? I don't think so. How do you play it? UVXY? Buy UVXY. You can buy calls. You can buy just regular shares. You know, you might want to do that. By the way, you can scale into these fine if you can't stand any red, you know. Just wait until you'll know it. You'll know it when the big drip drop is happening, and usually you can scale into these within a day or two, and they just still blah, 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 just start hammering up. And other stuff is bump, 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 just hammering down for like a week and a half. All right. So I don't think you have to like ride this and get at the very bottom or whatever. Yeah, you know, I'll let you figure that out. But, you know, a lot of stuff is just looking toppy and exhausted, just completely exhausted. You see these little mini reds that we're having. This is the SP 500 E-mini ES1 futures. You know, been kind of down, but we're sitting right at this line of support here. Are we going to break it? Are we going to break this week? We have to stay above it. If not, Other stuff's going to be following. Watch Apple, watch Tesla, stuff like that. But you also see, what do you also see? Let's get over to the Q stuff here. You also see stuff like this. So you've got the inverse. The positive, the bear, and the bull of the QQQ, the SQQ. Okay? You can get something like this, SQQ. You see people piling into these too on Fridays with the VIX. Those people are probably smart. You can use that. You can also use SPXS. It's going to give you, what is that? Can someone tell me? Is that bull? No, it's bear. It's 3x bear of the SPY. Put this in your back pocket, folks. If you want to catch the next dip in the market, jump in this, jump in the QQQ stuff. So a lot of this rotation, what's getting cool, SPACs are, like we were already talking about, hyper growth tech. Whoa, hyper growth tech, like, you know, those 2030 revenues. Companies that aren't going to have revenue till 2030, bro. Like quantum computing, those are getting cool. Carbon capture. Do you really think our government gives a flying blah, blah, blah about that? Do you really think so? MMAT, that stock comes to mind. You know, OTC stocks, we said, are flying. Gambling, you know, I just see gambling always get bigger. If you want to long something, just buy all the gambling stocks. Buy them gambling stocks, y'all. This came from someone in our Discord, super smart dude, said, yeah, the last few months I've sold most of my quantum computer positions, having concluded that money isn't going to start growing for a while. Did you hear what he said there? The money ain't going to start growing for a while, but it is getting cool. I'm better off placing money in companies that have the word quantum in their name because it sounds cool. He gets it. As opposed to an actual quantum tech. You see what he's doing? He's rotating from big cap, even quantum, to small cap quantum stocks, which is the same thing I've been doing for y'all. I've been finding these OTC gambling, sports, EV stocks. That's what we've been doing for the past month. That's why no one watches my videos at the current time, because we're always a month or two ahead. We talk about the stuff before everyone's making 37 videos a day about the same exact ticker. Listen to this guy. If you don't listen to me, listen to this guy. There are currently 4 SPACs that either say quantum or say they use quantum. Our homie, DMYI, is totally legit. How about Aries, RAM, who do not have a target? Last I checked, yeah. GIW, rumored to take NanoSys public, and Quantum FinTech, QFTA, which isn't doing anything. Oh, one more, WQGA unit, World Quantum Growth, which I haven't done any looking into yet. QUMCO is another. QUBT have both cooled off after their IPOs. This guy knows the sector better than anybody, by the way. Listen to him. So again, what are we getting at? We get when you start seeing the AMC and the GMC stocks being the #1 stocks bought even on old school boomer places like Fidelity, and you hear and see the boomers buying all that stuff, the sector changing. We're getting ready for a big rollover off of FANG. Bitcoin is going to follow FANG, by the way. Facebook, Apple, Noodle, Google. What does that mean? I think that Bitcoin is still going to maybe go up a little bit more. I think FANG is going to go up maybe a little bit more, but they're all looking ready to fall down and crash. Figure out how you're going to play it. But what are we getting at? Well, because we know these sector rotations of what's coming next, when the FANG does tip over, when it does tip over and fall, a lot of stuff that will carry through will then be small cap cool kid stocks. OTC, 2030 revenue stocks, let's just call them. Stuff that's got no revenue, but will in 2023, bro. You get what I'm getting at? Last year, this happened, was a perfect example. If you were with me, what happened? We did the same thing. We rotated into the cheapest warrant, the bottom of the basement greenleaf stock warrants for like 30 and 35, 45 cent warrants. And when FANG topped down, they kind of stayed, but like the next day, SPACs took off. Because remember, SPACs cannot go any lower. Even the warrants have floors. Did you know that? Yeah. So people that are thinking FANG is their backstop, the bros that are buying the options, both call and now mostly puts on stuff on in the FANG, are going to now rotate because they just lost their booty. And what are they going to rotate to? The super multipliers, which is OTC, warrants, commons, SPACs. Sunday night, where were we at? Energy was massive. Industrials way up. But look at energy. Remember, energy, the main reason energy is up. Why? There's some people going to it for a backbone, like the gas oil thing, but a lot of it's the ESG energy stuff that we're going into, which is the cool kid rotation, which is also included in this energy. EV, storage, windmill stuff. Now, everything's down. Materials, technology, why? Lots of FUD going on. Oh, look what Asia markets went into today. Healthcare, why? Because it's safety net. Healthcare's looked as safety net. Here's AMC. Yeah, AMC could still go up a little bit more, but again, I think this is going to possibly lead. You could use AMC as the VIX now, the UVXY. Leading indicator of the whole market is a bankrupt company called AMC. Welcome to 2021, folks. Let's stay ahead of the game. Don't listen to the pumpers. If you haven't liked, commented, or subscribed on the video, please do it. It definitely helps out the channel. Do we have a Discord? Join it if you want better entries. The best group around. See y'all out there tomorrow.
Please friend us on Twitter and StockTwits.